What if I told you that the difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, luck, or even hard work? It's actually 7 simple habits that anyone can learn by Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And today I'm going to break down exactly why this book changed millions of lives, including potentially yours. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to transform how you approach success, relationships, and personal growth. Before we dive into the habits, we need to understand the foundation. Everything is built on paradigms and principles. This is where Covey's genius really shines. The image looks like 2 different women, depending on how you look at it. One person sees a young woman looking away. Another sees an old woman with a big nose and chin. Once you see both versions, you realize the picture hasn't changed, your perspective has. Let's say you see a colleague as lazy because they always arrive late. That's your paradigm. But then you learn they're caring for a sick parent every morning. Suddenly, your view shifts. You no longer see laziness, but responsibility and stress. Nothing changed but your perspective. That's a paradigm shift. Principles are timeless, universal, and self-evident. They're not invented by us or society, they're discovered. Has honesty ever gone out of style? Has fairness ever been irrelevant? These principles transcend culture and time. Before Stephen Covey even introduces the 7 habits, he takes us deeper into the core philosophy that drives long-term success. He calls it the difference between the personality ethic and the character ethic. Think of it like an iceberg. The personality ethic is the part above the water. It's what people see: your appearance, social skills, communication style, image, charm, even your smile. These things matter, but they're just the surface. Below the surface lies the character ethic, the real foundation. It's made up of your values, your honesty, your sense of responsibility, humility, and integrity. These are not visible at first glance. But over time, they're what define you. Covey argues that while the personality ethic might help you impress, it's the character ethic that helps you last. Covey reminds us that true effectiveness is built from the inside out. The way we see the problem is the problem. The 7 habits are based on timeless principles like integrity, human dignity, service, and growth. They're not just productivity hacks, they're a complete framework for living. Habit 1 is the foundation of all the other habits. Be proactive. It's about taking full responsibility for your life. Instead of reacting to what happens around you, you choose your response. Stephen Covey introduces a simple but powerful concept: the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Your circle of concern includes all the things you care about, but can't control, like the economy, traffic, the weather, or what people think of you. But within that is your circle of influence, the things you can control: your words, your attitude, your effort, your decisions. Let's say you're worried about the economy. You can't control inflation, but you can control your spending, your learning, your mindset. That's being proactive. Let's understand the languages. Reactive people often feel like victims of their environment. Their words reflect blame, helplessness, or lack of control. They say things like, "That's just the way I am. He makes me so angry. I can't help it. They won't allow me to do that. I have to do this. There's nothing I can do." This language shows that the person feels controlled by external forces, other people, situations, or emotions. Proactive people own their responses. They understand they always have a choice, even if it's just how they respond emotionally. They say things like, "I choose to be calm. Let's look at our options. I will find a solution. I can handle this. I prefer," or "I decide. I'm going to make it happen." This language is empowering. It shows that the person takes responsibility instead of reacting blindly. Key difference in mindset is: a reactive people believe, "Life happens to me." A proactive people believe, "I create my own reality." Use the 90-10 rule. 10% is what happens, 90% is how you respond. In the proactive focus, positive energy enlarges circle of influence. In the reactive focus, negative energy reduces the circle of influence. So, Proactive people focus their energy on their circle of influence. Instead of saying, "There's nothing I can do," they ask, "What can I do?" This single shift changes everything. This quote sums it up perfectly. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Picture this: you're at your own funeral. Now pause. What do you want your family, your friends, your co-workers to say about you? How do you want to be remembered? This isn't morbid, it's strategic. Habit 2 is about starting with the end in mind. It's about clarity of purpose before you set your goals. That's why you need a personal mission statement that keeps you on the right path. It's like your North Star. It keeps you grounded when life gets noisy. What matters most to you? Is it family, faith, growth, service, legacy? Your mission statement should reflect those values and guide every major decision. When you know what truly matters, you stop chasing things that don't. Imagine this. You know what's important to you. You've got your mission, your values. But the question is, are you actually living it? Habit 3, put first things first, is where we turn vision into action. It's about personal management and saying yes to what truly matters before life forces you to. Stephen Covey introduces the time matrix, 4 quadrants that shape how we spend our time. Quadrant 1. Urgent and important. Crises, deadlines, emergencies. Necessary, but stressful when it dominates your life. Quadrant 2. Important but not urgent. This is the sweet spot. Planning, personal growth, relationship building, the things that move your life forward. Effective people live in Quadrant 2. They invest time in what's important before it becomes urgent. Quadrant 3. Urgent but not important. Like interruptions, random emails, unnecessary meetings. These feel urgent, but they pull you off track. Quadrant 4. Not urgent and not important. Mindless scrolling, binge watching, wasting time. Entertaining, maybe. Fulfilling, not really. The magic lies in saying no gracefully but firmly to what doesn't align with your priorities. Covey's solution? Plan your week ahead. List your key roles like parent, professional, learner, and schedule time for your most important, long-term goals. Put first things first means aligning your time with your values. Because if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. This habit requires the foundation of the first 2 habits. You need to know you have the power to choose habit 1, and you need a clear vision of what matters most, habit 2, before you can effectively prioritize your actions. Spend more time in Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent, like exercise, planning, learning. Habit 4 is where everything shifts: how we handle relationships, teamwork, and success itself. Most people live in a win-lose mindset. Either I win and you lose, or you win and I lose. But Stephen Covey introduces something more powerful. Win-win. Win-win is not about being soft or giving in. It's about finding solutions that benefit everyone involved. It requires both courage and consideration. The courage to stand up for your needs, and the empathy to respect others' needs too. Win-win is a frame of mind that constantly seeks mutual benefit. This mindset builds trust. And trust builds lasting relationships in business, friendships, and family. When you think win-win, you stop competing and start collaborating. You stop asking, "How can I win?" and start asking, "How can we both win?" Shift your thinking from competition to collaboration. Look for the third alternative, one where everyone walks away better off. Because in the long run, win-win is the only strategy that truly wins. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This might be the most powerful communication habit you ever learn. Most of us listen with one goal: to reply, not to understand. Stephen Covey breaks it down into 5 levels of listening. Ignoring, not listening at all. Pretending, nodding, but not really present. Selective listening, hearing only what you want. Attentive listening, focused, but still from your point of view. Empathic listening, listening with your eyes, ears, and heart. Empathic listening means you're not just hearing words. You're tuning into feelings, tone, body language, everything. When someone feels truly heard, something shifts. Walls come down. They feel safe. And suddenly they're open to hearing you. Most people listen to reply. Effective people listen to understand. Before you speak, reflect what the other person said. Say something like, "What I hear you saying is." Then pause. Let them feel heard. When you seek to understand first, you earn the right to be understood. Habit 6. Synergize. Imagine this. 1 + 1 = 3, or even more. That's the power of synergy. Synergy happens when the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. It's what you get when people bring their differences together and actually respect them. Most people see differences as obstacles. But synergistic thinkers, they see differences as fuel. Your weakness might be my strength. Your insight might spark my next big idea. In families, teams, classrooms, and boardrooms, synergy creates outcomes that no one person could have achieved alone. Together is better. Different is powerful. It takes humility, curiosity, and a real appreciation for others' perspectives. In your next team conversation, don't just push your idea. Ask, what are we missing? That's where synergy begins. Synergy isn't compromise, it's creative collaboration. It's turning differences into strengths. And the result is always something greater than you imagined. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Imagine a woodcutter working furiously, hour after hour, but his saw is getting dull. Someone asks, "Why don't you stop and sharpen it?" He replies, "I don't have time." That's exactly what many of us do in life. We keep going until we burn out. Habit 7 is called Sharpen the Saw, and it's all about renewal. Covey says we must consistently invest in 4 key areas of our lives: physical exercise, healthy food, rest; mental reading, writing, lifelong learning; spiritual prayer, meditation, values reflection; social, emotional, nurturing relationships, empathy, service. This isn't selfish, it's essential. You can't give your best to the world if you're running on empty. Taking time to renew makes you stronger, clearer, and more resilient. Block time each week for self-care rituals. Even 30 minutes can recenter your energy. Sharpening the saw ensures you don't just survive. You thrive. Here's how to start implementing these habits today. Week 1. Write your personal mission statement. Set aside 2 hours and really think about your values and what you want your life to stand for. Week 2. Start each day by identifying your Quadrant 2 activities. What's important but not urgent? Schedule these first. Week 3. Practice empathic listening. In every conversation, focus completely on understanding before trying to be understood. Week 4. Look for win-win opportunities. In your next negotiation or conflict, ask, how can we both win here? Remember, these are habits, not events. It takes time to build them. Be patient with yourself and focus on progress, not perfection. The 7 habits aren't just about productivity, they're about becoming the person you want to be. They work because they're based on timeless principles that govern human effectiveness. Start with habit 1. Be proactive. Take responsibility for your life and focus on what you can control. Everything else builds from there. If this video helped you understand why millions of people swear by this book, hit that like button and subscribe for more book summaries that can change your life. Thanks for watching, and remember, your habits determine your future. Make them count. This is Guide to Wealth, where powerful ideas meet practical action.